There we go. All right. We got it. We are live. Welcome back, everybody, to the Raider D podcast. Tonight, we got a special guest, a longtime supporter of the show from the very beginning. My man, my boy, Hot Beavers is in the house, and we are going to get into some hot debates tonight about some quarterback stuff. So I know y'all are going to be interested in that. You're going to love that. So we're going to jump into it here in just a bit. First of all, before we get too deep into it, Hot, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, because everybody's familiar with me. But who are you, man?
Man, born into the Raider Nation. Dad's a Raider fan. Grew up originally in San Jose,
Okay.
and then when I turned about 10, we moved down to Long Beach. Basically, every time we moved, the Raiders moved with us. So we moved down to Long Beach, Southern California, right after they moved down to LA, and then yeah, I mean, grew up down there. Just family full of coaches. Um, played the game myself growing up, in high school and all that good stuff in Long Beach, and then, decided that I like my brain. So about the brain injury stuff, so I got up out of there. But yeah, just real passionate about the game. Do a lot of, I'm a analytical person. A lot of my employment used to be in that kind of thing, so I do a lot of breaking down the stats and looking at the players in that kind of direction.
Nice. So right now, who's your favorite Raider? Who's your favorite current player right now?
Favorite player, Maxx Crosby. Yeah, I mean,
My man. That's an easy. That's too easy, man. All right, look. Let's pretend that we're in an alternate universe, like the Marvel universe. Maxx Crosby doesn't exist yet. Who would it
nice
be?
sitting here. Nice sitting here. So if it ain't Max, I probably have to go with Nate Hobbs.
Nate's the man. He's tight.
Yeah, I like how he played the game, the passion. You know what I'm saying, and what he made out of himself too. So
So I'm gonna go with Malcolm Kuntz. I've been watching this kid since we drafted him, coming out of Buffalo. I was a huge Khalil Mack fan. So I'm going to say I've watched his growth, and it's been really irritating and frustrating that he's never really gotten a good shot to be the number one guy opposite of Maxx Crosby, because I've seen the talent that he has, his bend, his hands, his speed, his burst. And it's been frustrating to see him just being wasted, sitting on the sideline too often, not being utilized properly. So the fact that they really were able to key in on him last year and get Tyree Wilson out of the way, because it was so obvious that Tyree Wilson was not it.
yeah,
At least not now. He's not
yeah,
ready.
he needs the
What?
same amount of time.
Yeah. So it was good to see that Malcolm Kuntz finally got his shot, and he really shined. I'm looking forward to him this year. You and me, I'm a big defense guy. I think defense wins championships, and I think having that Batman and Robin duo out there is going to be just super fun to watch this year. I don't think that we're going to pick up any defensive ends in the free agency. We really don't need it. I think we're going to go defensive tackle in the free agency. There's a lot of smoke about Williams now coming to the Raiders. We'll see what happens with that. His production's been all over the map, though, in his career, so I'm a little bit worried about bringing him. He's a Raider fan, which is nice, but I think somebody like a Justin Matabuke would be my go-to pick in the free agency for that defensive tackle spot. It's going to be expensive, I know, but we got the money. We got the money. And if we want to make the scariest defense in the NFL, I think you bring him in. Because I don't think the Chiefs are, with the raise in the salary cap, the way that they can work things, with the fact that Chris Jones said at the parade that he ain't going nowhere, I think they're going to come to a deal. And so we're not getting Chris Jones, but a super nice consolation prize, and he's a bit younger, is
Yeah,
Matabuke.
yeah. I mean, what is he like?
Matabuke.
27,
Yeah.
26, something like. Yeah, it's a market difference. So I mean, he may be the better, investment just because of the age situation. Which
Yeah. And then
crazy.
there's Christian Wilkins from Miami too. Is a
Yeah,
beast. He's a young and up and comer. but I
Like,
don't think that they let him go.
no, I think they're gonna franchise him. So that's what
Yeah,
I'm like. I think
which is the
Baltimore
same
might be
thing.
fine.
Yeah, that's the same. What I was gonna say is, fortunately those teams can only franchise one player, and the same thing with the Chiefs. All right, so
Mhm.
it's gonna be a very deep defensive free agency this year. So I'm excited to see who we pull the trigger on and bring in and just take that Black Rain defense from last year, upgrade it, and we just wreck people. Like I just seen on Twitter before we came on live, not on Twitter but on TikTok. My dude over there, Raider Mark, has a TikTok account, and he's got the Michael Myers picture of Michael Myers standing behind a bush, and then the Halloween music going, and then it says Maxx Crosby waiting for the Chiefs. I was like, yeah, baby.
Yeah,
Well,
we
man,
definitely that
we
swagger.
got how many we got in here? We bumping up on the numbers here. We got 67 in the house. It's a little bit different on this format, guys. If you want to like the live, you have to come up to the three little buttons over here to hit that like button. So you have to click the three little dots. It's different little bit format, but you know how we start these podcasts the same way we end them, and that's with Raiders just win, baby. 2024. I cannot wait. So, with that, everybody, let's just jump right into the content today. We're going to be debating some context because this has been an issue between me and Hot Beavers for pretty much since we met each other. He loves him some JJ McCarthy. Now, I'm not sold on the dude. I don't know about some JJ McCarthy. Because in my opinion, Hot, here's the thing. We've hashed this out in the comments, but it's a whole different thing when we can just converse back and forth. The dude was on a running team, run first, heavy defensive team. How do we know that this dude is ready for the NFL? Go ahead and give me your best shot, because you know what I'm going
Okay.
to do. I'm
Well,
going to put that defense down and shut it
okay.
down. What
So
you got? Bring it.
let's talk about JJ. All right. We talking about first off, he has it factor. He's electrifying. He is fearless. He is a leader. He'll run and put his head down and truck a DB like a Jacorian Bennett because he actually did that for a touchdown.
Okay.
The dude has that factor where people are going to follow him. He may be young, but he has the it factor. That's the first thing. Then you're talking about, you know, he was on a running team, right? He didn't have a lot of attempts. So he had about similar attempts to Russell Wilson in college, Drew Brees in college, Tom Brady in college. They were fine. So you gotta look past just the how many attempts and more look at like who we talking about and how is he playing. When you got somebody, I mean, it's all in the stats. His yards per attempt, 9.5. That's a very good like yards per attempt for a college quarterback. He's not dinking dunking it because just because it's on a team that can run the ball. He's clutch. He's better in the clutch than Drew Brees was in the clutch in college. Right? So we comparing him to greats. Um, he had a 65% completion percentage. I think that was second in FBS. Like,
I see. I got him down for 72.3 total.
damn. Okay, I thought it was 65. That's even better. But
Yeah.
I mean, you compare that to like Russell Wilson. I think something like 60%, right? So like he's good touchdown to interception ratio. I think it's like 3-1, which is what you want to see. Um, and then you go look at the tape. The dude is completing like lasers all over the field. He's running around, making magic happen, and then throwing lasers. Like the tape is there. It's there. And this is the thing. You don't have to move up to get him. And he's 3 years younger than everybody else. So what is he going to be in 3 years? He's good enough right now to lead his team to the playoffs. What will he be 3 years from now? He might be better than some other guys that are up higher that you might talk about. So that's what I got to say to start with JJ. Who's your guy?
Well, you know who I want. JD5. So I'm going to run over just a few comparison stats because I'm a stats guy. I love some stats, right? So we got, as far as JJ McCarthy's stats go, I mean, like I said, I'm not sold on him, but I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback by any means whatsoever. Look, I mean, he has 332 attempts in 2023, 240 completions, 2,991 yards. It's not bad. I mean, it's not eye-popping. It's not off the charts. It's not 4,000 yards. It's not 3,800 plus yards like Jaden Daniels. He does only have 22 touchdowns, which is almost half of what Jaden Daniels has, and the same amount of picks, right? At the same time, and here's why I'm bigger on Jaden Daniels. Everybody says Jaden Daniels is just a running quarterback. Well, let's look at Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels has 327 attempts, 236 completions, a completion rating of 72.2%. So the same, double the touchdowns at 40, same amount of picks at 4. He has a long of 86. He did get sacked 22 times. Let's look at JJ's. JJ McCarthy got sacked 19, so they're very close to each other. And Jaden has a rating of 208 with a QBR of 95.7. And this is kind of where the difference is here. And again, this is just numbers on a piece of paper. It doesn't mean that one's going to be better than the other in the NFL. But JJ McCarthy only has a rating of 167.4. That's a big difference in a QBR of 88.2. And then here's the X factor, and this is why I say there is no comparison. Yes, I know we have to move up to get Jaden Daniels. Yes, I know we have to sell the farm to get him. But the X factor is that McCarthy only has 202 rushing yards. How many does Jaden Daniels have? 1,134 and 10 touchdowns on the ground. When you combine the fact that Jaden Daniels... Yeah, when you combine the fact that Jaden Daniels has literally, what is that? Math time here. We're looking at 5,000 total yards in the same season compared to 3,000. That's 2,000 extra yards from the quarterback.
Stat monster. So this is the thing. Jaden Daniels got those running yards because Jaden Daniels does not scramble to throw the football. So this is a huge issue for me.
I've said that before, that's one of the things that he needs to work on is to utilize his legs more. I'd rather see him get less yards rushing and more yards passing, but still he's up there almost at 4,000 yards in the season.
Has taken some crazy hits. That boy need to learn how to slide. Right?
I've said that a million times, Hot. I've said it a million times. I agree with you on that. I mean, there's no doubt that when you get into the NFL, you're talking about grown-ass men, right? In college, them boys are still a little bit underweight. You still have DBs back there in the 180s and 170s. In the NFL, everybody's over 200 pounds.
You're getting crushed.
Yeah.
And they run 4.4.
Yeah. So he's gonna have a rude awakening the first time he hits or gets hit by an NFL linebacker, and so that's why I say, he's got to learn how to slide. He's got to learn how to utilize his legs to get him out of trouble and then throw the ball down the field. Because in the NFL, it doesn't work. The Chicago Bears and Justin Fields is a perfect example. It doesn't work if your quarterback has 1,000 yards rushing but can't throw the ball for more than 2,000 yards. And let's look at Justin Fields, too, because everybody's comparing Jaden Daniels to Justin Fields' college career. It's night and day difference. You're talking about apples and grapes, not even oranges. It's like you're talking about apples and grapes here. In college, Justin Fields only had, let me just look at it real quick here. Justin Fields had a completion rating in 2020, his last year in college, of 70.2. Only 225 attempts, 125 attempts less. Only 2,100 yards, 9.3 average, only 22 touchdowns, and 6 picks. Now, granted, in 2019, he did have a better year.
Was it receiver though? Was he throwing to Garrett?
I don't know where that came from. But yeah, and so if you look at his 2019 year, he had 354 attempts, so that's now up to par. So he did better in 2019. I don't know what happened to him in 2020, but his completion rate was only 67.2. He only had 3,273 yards, but he did go beast mode. He had 41 touchdowns and only 3 picks. And I think this is where you could make the argument for Justin Fields that in the NFL, he has not seen his peak yet, right? Because he's shown it in college that he does have the ability to get out there and let it rip and let it and be something serious. But he's inconsistent. Whereas if you look at Jaden Daniels, his progression tree is just going upwards, where Justin Fields regressed.
I think that some of the concerns that I think people might have had come out of college had to do with the fact that Justin Fields was not scrambling to throw. And I think that is the pro game, and how you actually, break down a pro defense is, to threaten, the linebackers and secondary and open up stuff. You see Caleb will scramble intentionally to change angles and open people up in a passing game. And JJ is 19, and he already figured that one out.
Yeah.
So, I feel like he has his head on his shoulders, and that 3 years is a big deal. I mean, should we be comparing JD5 at Arizona State 3 years ago to JJ right now? Would that be more fair? You know what I mean? Like, if we compare those stats, they're not even close. JJ's way better, right? So
JJ, yeah, I mean it is, but that wouldn't be a fair comparison either because you're talking about Arizona versus Michigan.
I mean, look at the tape. You go look at the tape for him at Arizona State 3 years.
No, I know, but if you look at him in Arizona State, even his first year in Arizona State, he was actually good. He did have a regression year there, his last year at Arizona State, for sure. There's no doubt about that. But that's why he left. But if you're looking at the teams, though, you know what I mean, is much, much different. And let me just pull up his stats there. Okay, so in 2020, this was his regression year, but he also only played a handful of games in 2020. Yeah. If you look at 2021, he did better. Nothing super. He only had 2,200 yards in the regular season in 2021, and that's when he left in 2022. In 2022, Jaden Daniels bumped up to 2,700 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 3 picks. And then 2023, obviously, we know he had his Heisman year. But let's look at his 2019. 2019, it wasn't terrible. 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Nothing spectacular, but of course, I mean, he's a freshman back then, right? So, and it's just a different caliber of team. I mean, obviously, when he went to LSU, he's got a better caliber team. I mean, he has Brian Thomas Jr., he has Malik Neighbors, like 2 of the best wide receivers in this class outside of Marvin Harrison. And I actually believe that Malik Neighbors is probably better than Marvin Harrison is. Marvin Harrison has height, and then obviously he has the nameplate, so he's going to get all of the attention. But Malik Neighbors is just a superior athlete, not by much, but just the fact that he was able to outdo Marvin Harrison statistically standing 3 inches shorter than Marvin Harrison. He just gets out there and gets that ball and comes down with it. It's amazing to watch him play. So I would definitely say that too. I mean, I guess I would have to give in to the point that if JJ McCarthy had those two wide receivers, maybe he would have a little bit better stats. I mean, I'll concede that, right? I'm not so stuck in my ways. My issue is just with when I'm looking at a guy like him, there's the rumors out there that he runs a 4.4. Okay, let's find that out in the combine, which is coming up, and I'm excited.
4.45, something like that.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, even 4.5. 4.5 for a quarterback is fast.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I'm saying. He got speed. Maybe he running away from defenders. You know what I'm saying? So.
And that's what I want to see with him, because if we're going to pull a quarterback in the first round, which the Raiders have only done 3 times since the 1970s, if we're going to pull a quarterback in the first round and we're going to use that capital, he better be it. And that's where my question mark with JJ McCarthy is. It's just there's that little hesitation there. You know, if you get Jaden Daniels, you're getting somebody special.
Yeah, but
athletically, it's a no-brainer. You know, if you get a Caleb Williams, you're getting somebody special. Athletically, it's a no-brainer. With JJ McCarthy, it's like he's a winner. He's won everywhere he's been. He's talented, no doubt. It's not like he's a midget out there. It's not like he's 5'9". What is he, like 6? Is he 6'3"?
Yeah, man. 6'3".
Yep, 6'3", 200 pounds. So, I mean, basically he's the same height as Aiden O'Connell. Yeah. Jaden Daniels, I think, is 6'4". Yep, 6'4", 210. Well, they have him marked here on ESPN as 210. I don't believe the kid's actually 210. I think it's closer to 200, maybe 199 when you look at him. But who knows? Maybe he ate some Wheaties and put on a few pounds. You know what I mean?
I got to shout out Papa Beavers is in the comments, but Pops showed up. So what's up, Pop?
Nice. Mr. Beavers, your son is a YouTube star. Salute to you. Thank you for letting me borrow your kid for the evening.
Yeah,
and
way.
Absolutely, man. We got a cool guy in here that says, yo, I'm the guy from yesterday, Raiders. I think we'll get Jaden Daniels, but you can take down the Chiefs, LOL. You can take down the Chiefs, LOL. Yes, we can. I believe you. I think he's trying to say you can't.
No, he didn't. No.
Not really sure, but
sometimes you just slip before you know.
Yeah. Because we did on Christmas Day, so.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we whooped them the last time we played.
Yeah, and you know what the thing is, and here's the issue. Like, if we get JJ McCarthy or Jaden Daniels, no matter what, I feel very confident in the players, the core players that we have. Just the fact that we have AOC sitting there in the wings,
right? Because
that kid showed me everything in the last few games of what you want to see in a quarterback. And this is the same thing with any quarterback. I'm like this on Jaden Daniels. I'm looking at the body of work, right? So Jaden Daniels, throughout his career in Arizona all the way to LSU, you see this progression tree. He's just moving up and coming into his own. And every quarterback does that at some point. But you don't want to see him plateau, because you see him plateau, then that's pretty much it. They've reached the peak of their career, and it may or may not be enough to get you over the hump. Depends on your team. But you see the same thing with JJ McCarthy. I'll give you that. Like he's when you look at his stats, you look at his gameplay, he hasn't regressed, right? So once we have whoever it's going to be, and this will be crazy if we're sitting here chopping it up, doing a live after draft night, and we got Jerzon Newton at 13 and no quarterback because we got Justin Fields or Russell Wilson sitting in the house, and we're just like like Coach was just like, "Hey, Raider Nation,
I
April
know.
Fools."
Yeah, it's good. You got Russell's son.
Yeah.
No, I think Russell gonna tear it up next year. I'm not joke though, because he got all kind of motivation, bro.
I mean, I just watched his interview on a podcast today, and you can see it, and I clown Russell Wilson a lot because, he went on those commercials and they were just super cringe, and it's just like, you probably should not be doing that. Just stick to football. You're better at that. But I think that I think he needed to really face some serious adversity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's done. I don't think he's going to be a Raider, but if he is, I guess I'm going to have to root for him and stop making fun of him. I don't know.
He's gonna be the Atlanta. That's what I think. He's going to Atlanta.
If he goes to Atlanta, then where does Justin Fields go?
Justin Fields staying in Chicago. I already told you.
I don't know, man. It's getting pretty heated out there. Like, I think you got to look at this. Look at this, right? You were drafted number 11 overall.
Okay.
In 2019, you were a stud at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Hot prize. 2020 had a little regression, but you showed that you could flash greatness. And now you're sitting there with the Bears. You're only going into year 4. And typically, if you listen to Cam Newton, who said a quarterback, any quarterback, doesn't matter if you're a pocket quarterback, a running quarterback, any type of quarterback, it takes you on average 2 to 4 years to get up to speed to NFL level.
Yeah.
He's entering year 4, and the organization has put you on notice that you may not be here next year. Is that where you want to stay? Do you want to be there now? Or do you just be like, oh, okay, so I'm just second fiddle because you got that first overall draft pick. So now I'm looking at you like, to hell with you then. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's kick rocks. You know what I mean? Send me to Atlanta. Send me to the Raiders.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel that. I probably would want to go to Atlanta, go home if I was him too.
Yeah.
But isn't Atlanta Sierra's home too?
I mean, yeah, but doesn't she have a residency in Vegas?
Bro, come on. No, but I think she does actually.
Yeah, she does. She
Yeah.
does. She has a residency in Vegas.
Okay. So look, he already got the curls off. Let him grow the beard out. She can drop a diss track, right?
Yeah.
And then here we go. This is the thing. If you do sign him, then you can kind of whoever we draft, you can give him a home street.
And that's the thing is if you bring in Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, they're QB1. You don't bring them here to put them on the bench, right? Even if they're cheap, like because Justin Fields is still on rookie salary, so he's cheap. And then Russell Wilson, we would just have to pay him basically the QB minimum, so he'll be cheap. But they're not coming. They're not coming to play second fiddle to AOC or JD5 or JJ McCarthy. These guys are starters in the NFL. They're gonna want to be starters. So you wouldn't bring them with that mindset. I would love it if I had to have a choice between the two, and I can't believe I'm actually gonna say this, but now that I think about it, if we got JD5 and we're gonna bring in a vet to try and ride this thing out and get into those playoffs, it's probably going to be Russell Wilson.
That's right.
Probably going to be Russell Wilson. I think it gives you the best chance right out of the gate because what you do know about Russell Wilson is he had one bad year in Seattle his last year, and then he had a bad year his first year in Denver, but then he did clean it up last year. My issue with him, though, is not throwing the deep ball and then missing some wide open receivers during the season. If you go back and you look at it, too many times he took off scrambling when he didn't need to. So this is kind of a thing with Russell Wilson as well. I would like to see him get 4,000 yards and 30 plus touchdowns. If he can do that, I mean, we're in the playoffs. And not only are we in the playoffs, we're making a Super Bowl run which is what he said. He wants to touch that Lombardi one more time.
He's
Actually, he
done
said
that.
two more times.
Yeah, he. You guarantee that you have a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. Sign him.
Now, if
Watch this.
that's the case, then I'm not so worried about bringing in JJ McCarthy because you already know who your starter is. You got the two young bucks sitting back there, and really AOC is like not even a young buck anymore. like, like JJ McCarthy is going to be the young buck, and then you're going to have like the older brother
Like,
is going to be AOC, and then daddy's going to be Russell Wilson, right? This is
yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah.
So in that case, I wouldn't worry about it too much because you have a veteran quarterback. God, I just give me Jaden Daniels, man. I'll be able to sleep better at night if we got Jaden Daniels. If it's Russell Wilson, I'm gonna probably just my blood pressure is gonna go crazy, right? I'm gonna probably lose some more hair. I'm gonna get some more gray. Look,
Yeah, I think
I'm only 46, man. But if we get Russell Wilson, I might look like I'm 65. You know what I'm saying?
if that's what it takes, and we win a championship, I have to sacrifice you, brother.
I mean, if we win a championship with Russell Wilson, he'll be the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL. In my opinion, I will praise that dude as the best quarterback ever to live if he gets us back to the Super Bowl and we win. I am not going to lie because it has been so long
I had a,
since we've even been a contender.
I'm up here in Seattle, front row seat. The dude, there's a little. He's mentally got some toughness, weird. You know that weirdness where he's super positive. That happens. That does some stuff on the field in clutch moments too. He be doing some crazy stuff up here. Watch that.
Yeah.
So he might have something to give us too. You know what I mean? And you got to think about it like this too. It's not just JD5 versus JJ. It's JD5 versus JJ and whoever we was gonna pick in the second round and the third round or whatever, right? So like, who you like in the second round? You gonna give him up along with JJ for JD5? Who do you like in the third round next year, right? Like, put that together, it's a different scenario.
I mean, I'm looking at it from this angle. I know for us to go and get JD5, it's going to cost a lot. There's no doubt. Even if we go with my scenario where we go at number 3 and he's still available and we trade with the Patriots, it's still going to be expensive draft capital wise, and we may have to sacrifice a player too. But you're set at quarterback now for the next 12 years, as long as he stays healthy. If he doesn't get tore up, if he doesn't become an RG3, right? Then we're set at quarterback for a long time. Unless he just hits the NFL and it was, his college career was just a complete sham because he had the two best wide receivers in the nation sitting there, or two of the best, not maybe the two best. I think probably Rome Odunze is better than Thomas, but not by much. I mean, all of the top 4 wide receivers are just like level of greatness
Yeah.
is just like right there. All 4 of them are going to be stars in the NFL. But if that's the case, and JD gets out here, but I mean, you got Davante Adams, you got Jacoby Myers. These dudes are catching everything you throw at them, and then you got the young, hot, Trey Tucker blazing down the field. I think that if you brought Jaden Daniels in, I don't think you even need a Russell Wilson at that point. I don't think you need a veteran. I think you keep Hoyer on the field on the team. He's under contract, doesn't cost us anything. And if we cut him, we don't save anything. You just keep him back there as like a mentor, right? And a worst case scenario, like both of our QBs go down, then Hoyer can do what anybody else can do, which is just hand the ball off to Zamir White, Josh Jacobs, or whoever else we draft. And for God's sake, just don't let him throw the ball. And we have a shot at still winning. You know what I mean?
Because he won't throw.
Yeah.
No, I hear you on that. This is the only thing that makes me give that thought is that he does need to take a little time to develop a major portion of his game, which is scramble to throw. And sitting on the sideline is a great place to learn how to do that. Mahomes learned that from Alex Smith. And then the idea that he does take a lot of big hits. And so getting him with a full year of NFL weight training and weight and all that good stuff before he gets in there and takes a bunch of hits could be advantageous also. Maybe it's not the whole year. Maybe it's 7 games, and then he surpasses Russell Wilson.
Okay, what about this scenario? And this is probably going to get me in trouble with the nation because I know that the nation is split on this guy, just like we were split on Derek Carr. It seems like the number 4 is just now cursed, right? But what if we keep AOC as QB1 for 2024 with the intent that you've drafted Jaden Daniels.
Right.
He's the face of the franchise. He's going to sit for a year like Patrick Mahomes did under Alex Smith.
Right.
Aiden O'Connell is QB1.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it turns out to be something.
Yeah.
And then you have trade capital to get all those draft picks back, because now you can trade Aiden O'Connell at the end of the year for a bunch of draft capital. Now the face of the franchise stands up.
I don't hate it. The only thing that gives me pause with that is that we do under Pierce. We had number 1D. So, I mean, if we are not trotting out a quarterback that can win the Super Bowl that's starting, I think that's still on our defense short.
I think that you could win with AOC, with our defense, and with a steady, that West Coast Green Bay offense. Mm-hmm. I think AOC would thrive in that. I think he would do really good. I don't think AOC is going to be a superstar,
right.
But a Brad Johnson,
yeah, I hear you.
A Trent Dilfer, an Eli Manning, right. You know what I mean? I think he could be that. And look, AP has the formula already.
Yeah,
defense wins championships. If you have a just number 1 beast mode defense, and you have a quarterback that's not going to lose you the game.
Right.
He may not carry the whole team on his back, but he can make the throws. He can get the touchdowns as long as he's smart with the football. And we really seen AOC do that in his last 4 games. Everybody throws hate on AOC only throwing 64 yards in that KC game. But I say it all the time, and you've heard me say it. He didn't lose us the game. That was the key thing. Our key playmakers out there won us the game, and that's our defense, right? So his job was to go out there and hand the ball off to Zamir White, and Zamir had the game of his life. You know what I mean? Put that game away, just carried the whole team on his back like, hey, I got you guys. It's my time to shine. JJ's down. Hand me the rock. I got this. And he did it. Yeah. Because I've been rough on Zamir White. I've been so hard on him since he came in on his lack of vision and just running into the wrong hole and all this stuff. And you know what? Even during that KC game, there was one play in the fourth quarter where he had a good 10 yards between him, 2 defenders, and the sideline. And all he had to do is just cut to the right, stiff arm, and he probably could have picked up another 10 yards. But you know what he chose to do instead? Bulldoze through those 2 DBs. And I was like, at first I was mad, and I was like, but you know what? I bet they're not going to want to tackle him next time. And sure enough, they didn't.
He's a little crazy with that. I like how him and JJ both punish the defense.
Yeah.
So when JJ sits down, the defense is still getting ran over. So they come back and like, oh, okay, we got JJ again.
And there's some dudes in the draft, and I'm pretty sure you've seen my video on the running backs, right? The breakdown. I mean, we got some dudes coming out of the draft, and the crazy thing is now, a couple of these guys would have been first rounders 5 years ago.
That's for sure.
But now they're going to be available in the second.
For the first round.
Yeah.
Like we need a good pass catching guy that got some speed. I think you could probably get like a Will Shipley in the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just so much talent now at the running back position that is going to be available, and these guys would have all been a lot more highly touted and drafted earlier in the first and the second round that are now going to be available in the second and the third and even in the fourth that you can bring in, and they're going to excel. And I do think that even if we bring Josh Jacobs back, I think that we do need to take advantage of the fact, and I'm pretty sure Telesco will do this, but we need to take advantage of the fact that running backs now have been devalued, but the talent isn't any less. And so you want to bring somebody in because let's say we sign Josh Jacobs. We know he does get that injury bug sometimes. He missed the last several games of last year as an example. But that's just the nature of the beast. You've added another game to the season, which is more wear and tear, and the most wear and tear position is the running backs, why they have the shortest shelf life in the NFL. So I think that we do need to, at least in the third or fourth round, snatch up one of these talented young guys and just make sure that we have that depth. And then somebody, when JJ does exit the Raiders, whether through retirement or going on to another team to, grab some more money as he ages in his career, that we have somebody in the waiting, because I'm not impressed with any of our running backs that we got right now. Bolden, Abdullah, he shines here and there, but he's not a replacement for Josh Jacobs at all.
He's old too. He's like 30.
Yeah, so we need to get younger, and I think we still got Sincere McCormick, and I've just never seen anything out of that kid whatsoever. Maybe it's because he also has not really gotten a chance, but
other YouTubers who really like Sincere, but I just never get it.
Yeah, I've seen him in the preseason and stuff, and I'm just like, he doesn't wow me with anything.
Oh, you don't have any speed or anything.
There's in this draft right now, there's guys that are 10 times more talented and athletic than him. So I would say that the Raiders definitely need to pick somebody up. Again, everything is going to depend, though, that are we going to sell the farm to get JD5? And I know that's why your position is that we go after McCarthy because he'll probably be available. Now, here's the thing. Will he be available at 13 because his stock is rising? We still may have to trade up.
Because as much as I love McCarthy, I love Bo Nix even more.
Bo Nix. Now, here's an issue I have with Bo Nix, and this is why. I mean, I've even argued this with you in the past of, JJ McCarthy, you love him so much, but he's second in pretty much every stat to Bo Nix. Why not just draft Bo Nix? But now I'm going to contradict myself.
Okay.
The reason why I would take JJ McCarthy over Bo Nix is simply because JJ McCarthy has won at the highest level in college, whereas Bo Nix has not, right? Hey, I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, who would have said Michigan would have won a few years ago?
But Oregon, they have some good records and stuff like that.
And he's got Rome Odunze. And he's got the other kid, the skinny kid.
Yeah, the kid, Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin.
That's about to say. He had no Rome.
Or not Rome. No, not Rome. Rome's in Washington. The other kid, Franklin. Yeah.
I mean, he had Franklin. He had an okay running back. Just go look at the tape. That dude has magical fairy dust up his butt. He runs. Like 7 people and throw it. I'm like, come on, man. That's the kind of stuff that'll break a defense. And he, what I like about him is that when he was at Auburn, people were like, he's too wild. He throws too deep. He's just all off schedule. And now they're like, well, he's too on schedule. He won't take any chances. But the gunslinger, the gunslinger's still in there, man. He just knows how to run. He matured enough to run the offense on script while still in college and put the gunslinger in his pocket. It comes out after read 2, and he starts, go check the magic dust tape.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no doubt because I watched Bo Nix tape, and he is fun to watch. He's impressive. He's got escapability out of the pocket, so I like that about him. And I don't think that if we ended up with Bo Nix, JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., any of those consolation prizes after Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams, I don't think that we could go wrong with any of those guys. I think they're all very talented, and I think they will all bring a potential improvement to the quarterback room over AOC, simply because, well, I'll exclude Michael Penix because he doesn't really use his legs at all. And then he's had the injuries and stuff like that. So he's more of a traditional pocket passer, but he is more athletic than AOC. AOC's just not athletic. That's why I call him Fat Farva. And I'm not even the one who came up with that. I heard it somewhere on YouTube. I was flipping through and I came across somebody. I can't remember. I'd love to give the dude credit for it, but I can't even give him credit because I can't remember what channel it was or who said it. But I've just been rolling with it ever since because it was so funny and so accurate. When you look at him, he just looks like a soft 14-year-old out there playing football in the NFL, and it's like, how? Dude, you just barely hit maturity. So who knows, man? This dude might hit the weight room out there in Vegas, and maybe he was hanging out with Jimmy G, taking some PEDs. You know what I mean? He just comes out all ripped and stuff.
This whole area right here could be improved.
Yeah.
You never know what happens.
Yeah.
You know,
So
eating like cheesecake and ranch dressing right now. We need to kind of strengthen that core a little bit.
yeah, he better stay away from all those buffets in Vegas. That's for sure.
You like the food, man. He's a Midwest boy. You like the food. That's okay. You know. But yeah, he had a whole year off season. He might. I mean, that's what happened with Breeze and Brady. Honestly, they just got way stronger in their core and improved their arm strength and worked on speed. So you never know. And
that's one thing I like about Aiden O'Connell is he can make every throw out there on the field. He's not 100%. He's not as accurate as he could be. I think that's one of those things that could improve. But when you're looking at accuracy, I think that if you did bring in a McCarthy or a Bo Nix, you're going to have an increase in accuracy. We're not going to have as many of those missed opportunities. I think that, and then you just add in their athleticism, that it's going to be an upgrade over AOC. But again, I would still do, like, it's controversial and it may be crazy, but I think you would still roll with AOC if you draft either one of those guys. Mm-hmm. Even Jaden Daniels, you roll with AOC for at least the first 4 weeks. If AOC is doing good and we're winning games, we're 4-0, you stick with him for the reason of he's not going to be the long-term. I mean, he might be. Who knows? Imagine this scenario.
He just balls out.
He balls out. He throws for 4,200 yards and 35 touchdowns and 4 picks, and we win a Super Bowl.
Always the trophy. Then we got to trade the draft pick.
Tom Brady 2.0. Mm-hmm. You trade Jaden Daniels.
Right.
Or Bo Nix or McCarthy, whoever. You trade those guys away. You get some draft picks, and because that's what happened with the Patriots. Tom Brady was never supposed to be who he was. Bledsoe got hurt. Next man up. Oh, my God, this dude's insane. You're now the starter for Bledsoe. Thank you for your service. See you later. Yeah. Right? So, yeah, I would say it's a great position for us to be in. And I think that for me, it's more exciting because I love Derek Carr. I got nothing bad to say about the person. He was a great leader in that locker room. He sacrificed a lot for the team. I truly believe he gave us everything he had. I think in 2016, if he didn't get his leg broke, we had a shot at running to the Super Bowl. He was on MVP caliber. I mean, he was in the running for MVP. And then he was never the same after that. I'm telling you, PTSD is real. Even in sports, it is real, 100%.
Made this point before to you, man. Like you break your leg like that, and you could hear it break, and somebody did it to you. Like, you don't forget that that's not something. That's your body doesn't forget that. You can do whatever you want with your head. Your body's not gonna forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we were kind of stuck in mediocre world with him after 2016. And because he was the QB and he was the highly paid QB on our roster, we missed so many opportunities to move on.
Yeah.
We just got stuck. And the fact that we're not stuck now it's like, yep, AOC, you did really well in the situation that you were put in, and we really appreciate you. Now we're going to go and draft somebody. And AOC's like, I think the Raiders should draft somebody because it's only fair to the organization that there's some competition in the QB room, right? He's just that guy.
Yeah.
So he's not upset about it. But at the same time, Coach AP said, that kid's a fighter. He ain't going down without a fight. He's going to work for that QB1 spot. So it's not guaranteed to anybody right now. It's up for grabs, right? Best man for the job is going to win the job, whoever we bring in. So I'm excited for the first time as far as the fact that we have a real defense for once, which I've just been so depressed about for the past 20 years because our defense has been horrible. I think
this is the first time in a long time where I'm excited because I feel like if we make very doable offseason moves, we should be a contender.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Look, I mean, you got guys out there like possibly Patrick Queen's going to be out there, possibly Justin Matabuke, Jalen Johnson, L'Jarius Sneed,
And Howard.
Yeah, Williams. I mean, there's just so many big names out there that we could go and snatch up and grab. I think what is there going to be? I heard somewhere there's going to be like 100 free agents this season. Now, most of them will never see free agency, right? Yeah. These are just guys, they're in their last contract year. They're going to get new contracts, and it's going to be wild. Got to give a shout out to Raider Ryan with that big $5 super chat. Salute Nation. I like the two different mindsets collaborating on one show. Yes, sir, Raiders. Looking forward to our upcoming season with the best D we've had in years. Salute, Raider Ryan. Raider Ryan, a big-time supporter of the show from the beginning. We appreciate you, brother. Are you out there working again tonight? If you are, brother, I hope you are staying safe out there. And, that's how you got to do it, man. We take care of our fam and stuff, and Raider Nation, we just have blue-collar, hard-working type of football fans. Same thing with our team. You know what I mean? That's why Maxx Crosby fits in so perfect. He embodies that old 1970s, rough, just hard-working, get bloody football that the Raiders have always represented. We've never been the cool kids on the block. We've never been the pretty boys. That's why when we brought Jimmy Garoppolo, I was like, this McDaniels just does not understand our culture, man. He just doesn't get it. Like, this dude's an underwear model. What the heck is he doing on the Raiders? Right? Like, even Derek Carr. Like I said, I got nothing bad to say about Derek Carr.
Yeah, in our style, man.
But he's too nice. Derek Carr was too nice. Like, we want somebody with a little anger in him. That's the same like with AOC. He's too nice. Like, dude, I want you to be a little angry, okay?
Yeah. Like, just a little.
Yeah. Like, and this is the thing. I cannot take anything as much as I cannot stand at all Patrick Mahomes. The dude's a competitor. Like, I watched game clips of him jawing at Maxx Crosby, and even Maxx Crosby said on the rush that there's one QB that stands up to him. It's Patrick Mahomes. Everybody else, they just keep quiet, right? They're just like, There's even that. You seen the Gardner? What was it? The Gardner Minshew clip where he's like, Maxx Crosby is so angry. He keeps calling me little ass boy.
You are a little ass boy.
He's like, and then he even says, I know I'm little out here, but I'm not little everywhere. That was just classic, man. That was classic. But Patrick Mahomes, he's like, he gets up in Maxx Crosby's face too, and he's like, "Bring it, like let's go." That's the kind of quarterback that I want.
No,
And
Brady was.
yeah, Brady was a killer. I mean, he straight up had that Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, I'm going to be the best in the world attitude, right? I hate him for what he did to the Raiders over and over and over again. I hate how the refs coddled him because he was now, the favorite child of the NFL, just like we now have with the Patriots. But I cannot deny that his work ethic and his desire was second to none. Second to none.
He's not making them calls. He just, I mean, they call for me. I'd be like, yeah, I'll take. Yep, I'm hurt. It gives me rest. I mean, what he's supposed
Yeah.
to do, damn, he ain't gonna turn it down. So it is what it is. You know, he's still a dog. Mahomes is still a dog. They out there hustling. We need to find our own draft on it.
I think Jaden Daniels has that in him. I'll say JJ McCarthy has that drive to win, so I'll give you points on that with him. I'm not really sold on Caleb Williams if he has that drive. I think Caleb Williams is one of those dudes that I worry is going to be another Kyler Murray in the NFL, where he's just so athletically gifted, he thinks that's going to carry him.
I do have some insight on that. Some people down in Southern California that know people, that kind of thing. And I will tell you that his teammates, everybody says he works hard. Everybody loves him. He will organize team practices and things like that. He's a nerd for the game. So he's not like over there doing what some of the other players do in Southern California when they go to USD. So
Yeah, the party school.
there's a mix of like, man, sure.
I mean, any of the state schools down there, back in oh god, well, I don't remember what year it was. I was like 20. I was working security at a campus housing in Sacramento, and it was just party every night. Party every night. That's all. Nobody studied anything. It was just every single apartment was a party. It'd be a Wednesday. They're just partying. I'm just like, oh my god, man.
Possibilities are endless, man.
Yeah, it was crazy out there.
Yeah. Good time.
Oh boy, Raider Ryan Minshew is a little ass boy. That was great. Yep. Max is the ultimate competitor. And look, man, if the referees were to call holding at least 75% of the time on Maxx Crosby of when he's being held, he'd probably have 35 sacks in a season.
Yeah, it's insane.
Because you watch the game and it's like every single play, their hands are outside the pads, they're clotheslining him, tackling him. It's just like, and he gets up and he'll look at the ref, and the ref's just like, man, I didn't see anything. Yeah. And what do you think about what Coach AP said about taking the head off of the snake? Because now there's a lot of talking heads on, the ESPNs of the world talking about how, there should be some type of sanctions and this and that for that. It should, for me, in my opinion, I love it. I love the fact that he's pushing the dudes to play hard, to get in. Patrick Mahomes is the dude you got to take him down. He's king of the hill. You got to knock off the king of the hill if you want to be king of the hill. But do you think that he should have said that in public?
Yeah. So like people, there's a strategy to talking too much shit. You ever play against somebody that's better? You're better than them in basketball or something, but they just talk so much shit that you get mad and frustrated at them, and then they beat you. He's already in their heads, bro. That's why the Chiefs fans are here so much.
Every day. Every time I'm on live, I got that half of the viewers are Chiefs fans.
In their head, man. They already, we're better than you. What do you think you are? Like, okay, perfect. That's what you do when you talk too much shit. You get the person off lathered up and upset. Like, no, you don't deserve to talk shit like that. And like, stop me. I'm talking shit right now. I'm still doing it. And I just scored on you. And that shit
Yeah.
starts in your head. That's what AP is doing, man.
I remember when I was in my 20s and I'd be playing basketball with the boys and stuff. I was always the worst one out there. I admit. But you know what I was? I was the one dude that would run up and down the court. When we play full court, I was the only one that would run back on defense every single time. And I don't care if you got an easy breakaway. There is no easy with me. I am going to chop you in half if you try and do a layup on me. And yeah, I'm going to get it. Yeah, foul. It's on me. My bad, homie. My bad. But you're not getting an easy layup.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not a good basketball player, but I will out-muscle you, and I will get in your head, and you'll get so mad you'll want to fight me even if we're best friends because you're not going to score on me.
You have a horrible game. You might have 6 points. You
Yeah.
just drop down to your level. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I love it. Like I said, I don't have any issue of him saying it out loud. I know some talking heads out there are saying that, oh, you should have kept that to yourself. But, Hondo had on his podcast, I think it was today, where he said, just go back and look at interviews of head coaches and owners, particularly like Al Davis, who said that by halftime you got to take the quarterback down. He's got to take him down. You got to take him down hard. That's how you win games, right? It's football. It's violent. It's a violent sport, right? And I say this all the time because inside of every grown man, and I don't care if you don't even identify yourself as a man. You can identify yourself as whatever you want. Your genetics say fight. At some point, there's a bit of violence within you. And as a society, we've developed these games in order to get that aggression out in a safe and healthy way, right? So that we could be men, we could feel that aggression, but at the end of the day, everybody's alive. I mean, unless it's a 49ers and Raiders game in the Bay, especially in the old Coliseum, then there might be a few people that have to go to the hospital. But
you have a knife, bro. You gotta watch that.
Yeah. Raiders do not come to our house wearing red. You know what I'm saying? This is the silver and black around here.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man, because, living in the Bay, it was so wild when the Raiders came back to the town. Like, before that, I mean, obviously everybody in the town, most everybody in the town was still Raiders fans, but we was just, you kind of like, even though a lot of people don't want to admit it nowadays, but there were a lot of San Francisco fans in Oakland until the Raiders came home. Not that they were fans, but because it represented the Bay Area, right? It's the Northern Cali team, but obviously you still had the silver and black flags, you still had the jerseys, you still had everything else. But as long as they weren't playing the Raiders, we would quietly root for the 49ers. Like in the Super Bowl, I didn't want either one to win in our house, but I most definitely didn't want KC to win.
Yeah, I thought that was an easy choice for me. Like, bro, like you got neighbors and maybe your baker or somebody, who's a Niner fan, and you might not even know it. But if you up there, in the Bay Area and your baker's real nice to you the next day, it's worth it. But the Chiefs fans is just, come on, man. I mean, we love the Chiefs fans, but still, we hate the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't wish ill on I don't even wish ill on Patrick Mahomes. I just wish that Maxx Crosby body slams him and suplexes him a few times in the game. And if he doesn't get up and he needs to catch his breath for, a couple of series, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't want him to get a broken leg because I don't want us to beat him that way. Like I want to beat the Chiefs to their core. I don't want to beat them physically, like break his leg or anything like that, because now, like, if you beat the best team in the world because they didn't have the best player, then did you really beat them, right? Did you beat Tom Brady if you broke his ankle in the very first series? No, you beat the Patriots, yeah, but who are they without Tom Brady? So I want to beat Patrick Mahomes to the point that every time he has to play the silver and black, he has a horrible experience. And he goes home and he frets over it. Like, I have a short on my shorts feed right now where at Super Bowl Row, this super adorable little kid is talking to Patrick Mahomes, and he tells Patrick Mahomes, "Yeah, I'm taking Maxx Crosby." And Patrick Mahomes is like, "Yeah, I hate playing that guy. I hate playing that guy. I can see why you would take him. I hate him." That's what I want. Like, the first thing that comes to Patrick Mahomes' head is, I hate playing those guys. I hate it. And I just want him to have a bad, like, I want to beat him mentally and emotionally so that we can say, yeah, we are the best team because we didn't have to break your leg. We broke your spirit.
Yeah, we just gotta keep playing the way we played last time. Imagine if we bring in like Khalil Mack for linebacker, strong side linebacker too. Like he might just be running for his life though every time he plays us. Here.
I mean, if Malcolm Kuntz continues to have the progression that he had in the second half of the season last year, when AP gave him the starting job and Patrick set him free, then you really have that Batman and Robin effect right there, right? Like who do you double team now? What happens if by mid-season both of them are over 10 sacks? Now what do you do? And I think this is why it's so key and integral for the Raiders to snatch up one of these premier talents on the inside of the line. Leonard Williams, I'm a little bit suspect on because he's had such an up and down career. I think if you got with a Chris, you're immediately the best team or the best defense in the NFL. I think if you get Justin Matabuke, if he has another year like he had this past year, you're the best defense in the NFL. The only thing I think that we need to work on, as much as I love Amik Robinson, is we do need a true corner over there. If we could get a true lockdown corner over there and Jack Jones on the other side, oh my God.
That's what, like, for me, I look at it like Chris Jones, Madubuike, them dudes can cost so much. Like, you could get Leonard Williams and Matt for something close to that, the cost of Chris Jones. So.
Ryan G wants to know why we ain't talking about Spencer Rattler no more. He's the guy who resembles Mahomes the most out of any other QB. Take him in the third round and watch him blossom while we beef up our lines in 1 and 2. Look, I got a video about Rattler. I think Rattler is one of those interesting prospects who he could be literally one of those boomer bust quarterbacks. He has the athleticism. He has the gunslinger mentality. He's a little reckless with the ball at times. But if he can clean that up, no, I 100% believe that Rattler could be something in the NFL. The other problem is he could also be Baker Mayfield's first, 4 or 5 years in the NFL. He could definitely be that. He could throw, 20 touchdowns and 15 picks in the NFL.
Absolutely.
And that's the scary thing with him.
I don't like how he sees the field. I don't like how he sees the field.
Yeah. So he's one of those. I think if you bring him in, you're bringing him in as a second or a third string quarterback who's going to progress. You're just going to see what you got because he's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Pick him up in the third round, and then you just see what you got. If he shows signs of greatness, you put him out there on the field and see what happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if he can't cut it in practice, if he has if you have any concern about him whatsoever, then it didn't cost you too much. Right. I would certainly take him. What do you think about between Rattler and Joe Milton?
Rattler?
Yeah, I would too.
I think he needs 3 years.
Yeah. Milton's got the big arm, but he could easily become Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, he barely got to play. He needs a lot of time to get himself together. So.
Yeah.
We are at that O2 time. I got a little low on my little battery here. Hold on.
Battery dying out on you?
Battery's dying now. I gotta plug this bad boy in. Hold on. But yeah, I like Rattler better. I think Joe Milton, yeah, he just didn't really get a chance to develop. He's gonna need a lot more time. Um, yeah, I think 3 years before he could even like be considered a real starter.
Guys, if you are new to the Raider D podcast, welcome in. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Your number one source for daily Raiders content right here. Go live every day just about and post all kinds of videos, any type of updates. We also do player breakdowns and more. So hit that subscribe button and make sure that you are turning on those bell notifications because you never know when the Raider D is going to go live and have awesome special guests like my boy Hot Beaver right here in the house. Breaking it down for the Raider Nation, let us know in the comments below. I want you guys to spam the comments. Now, we've been talking about JJ McCarthy or JD5. Who's going to win? Hot Beavers is taking JJ McCarthy, and he has some valid arguments. The dude's won a national championship. He is going to be much cheaper and possibly available to us at pick number 13 in the NFL draft. And so we don't have to spend any draft picks to go up and get him. He is probably NFL ready, and he is a mobile quarterback with a rumored 4.4 or a 4.5 speed, which we will find out at the combine. So if you think that Hot Beavers has made his case, put JJ, spam it down there in the comments right now. But if you think that there is no doubt that a generational player in Jaden Daniels out of LSU is the way to go for the Raider Nation, the face of the Raider Nation, the franchise quarterback for the next 10 plus years, the multiple winning Super Bowl champion Jaden Daniels, and I am right, and we should sell the farm and get our guy, then give me JD5 down there in the comments right now. JD5, spam them loud, spam them proud. JD5 in the comments, and let your voice be heard. 100%. So, just looking briefly here at the comments, I see a JD in the house, but I see right now so far, I see two JJs. Raider Nation, you are not going to let me lose this battle on my own podcast. I better see some JDs or JD5s down here in the comments right now. 100 people in that. Western, you better support me, brother. If you do not support me, I'm going to be so upset. I'll be so upset. You better throw a JD5 in there, Wes. Come on, brother.
Come on, man. You know what's better.
Okay, Ryan G's got me. I see a JD. We're tied. Man. We're tied. I need some more, Nation. Spam them. Just start dropping them. Knicks? Even if you've already dropped them.
Vote for JJ. I'm taking Knicks as a vote for JJ.
Zone D says Knicks has bad feet on pro level. I don't. Maybe in like. I don't know. Okay, there we go. Western, my man. JD over JJ.
JD over JJ and
yeah, he didn't just come with JD. He said JD over JJ. Like, that's a double vote. I should get 2 points for that. You know what I'm saying? I should definitely get 2 points for that one.
I don't know, man. I don't know if you can moderate.
Oh no, you got the fam in the house backing you up.
Let's go.
Family backing you up, man. That's cheating, man.
Third round? He ain't making it to the third round.
Who said third round?
Chris.
Oh. Thrill 2020 in the house. Jaden Daniels. Let's see. Okay, Raider Ryan's coming in with that level-headedness. As much as I'd love to see Jaden Daniels, if he's the man on the team, I wouldn't be mad at McCarthy. I say Jaden Daniels. So at the end of the day, another point for the Raider D. But I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of JJs getting spammed here, man. I'm seeing a lot of JJs getting spammed in the comments.
Uh-oh, hold on.
Look, see, even your camera agrees with me. Your camera's voting against you, man. Oh, man. I'm getting killed in the comments, nation. I'm getting killed in the comments. I need to see some JDs, man. Give me some JDs. We both had valid points. You know what I'm saying? Give me those JDs. All right. Adrian in the house. Adrian's giving me that JD right there. Bam. Oh. Yes, sir. I'm still down, though. I think I'm down by a couple of votes here because I'm seeing a bunch of JJs in those comments. Where are we at, nation? Don't leave me hanging. Thrill, you look, brother, you're hurting me here because even though you're saying something bad about JJ, you still put JJ in the comments, so he's still Hot Beavers is still getting a vote. You're killing me, brother. Eric Rader says JD first. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I hear it. You know, I know it's gonna be some JD apologists over there.
Hey, look, no lie though. If it doesn't matter if we get Jaden Daniels or we get JJ McCarthy or whoever the QB that we're gonna pull out of this thing. One thing that they are quickly going to learn is that they are going to feel the embrace of the silver and black. The nation will be behind them. And we'll give them their shot. Now, if they turn out to be a Jamarcus Russell, they'll never hear the end of it for the rest of their lives. Even after they retire from football, we will still talk smack about them. So do not come to the Raiders and think that you're just going to eat a bunch of cream puffs, zoom zooms, and wham whams, not study, not practice, and play like crap and make $100+ million and think that we're not going to be upset about it because we will be. But if you come here and you want to win championships, we got your back. We got your back.
JJ ran like a 40-yard touchdown and then immediately started thanking his lineman.
Man, it's gonna be exciting. I can't wait to get through the draft and get into mini camp, get into the preseason and start seeing these guys play. It's gonna be so much fun. And we're going to have so much fun covering these things, going over everything. Brother, have you set up a channel yet?
I'm about to, yeah. I'm putting stuff together, and I'm going to start.
So even if you don't have a channel right now,
you can
people can still subscribe to you, right? You can
subscribe now because I'm going to start putting stuff together and have my first one out next week. Okay.
So everybody that's in right now, my boy Hot Beavers is here. He's going to be a returning guest over and over and over. So you're going to see his face an awful lot on my show here. And then once he gets going, I'll do the same thing on his. So make sure that you are subscribed to both of us because we're going to be bringing it to you each and every day. Raider Nation, commitment to excellence. Brother, we're going to sign off for now and go ahead and give your last thoughts to the nation.
How we get out.
Raiders! All right, nation. We will see all of you in the very next stream.